Good afternoon, everybody. It's David Perlmutter from Quantum Listing, and thank you for joining us for our webinar on your Quantum Listing Profile Page. We are encouraging you to use your Quantum Listing Profile Page as your commercial real estate home base, and we want to make sure that when you set up your profile page, you understand all the features and make it look as well, make it look great. And here we go. So from your QuantumListing.com profile page, you can access, from QuantumListing.com, you can access your profile page at any point when you're on the site by clicking the avatar at the top right of the screen. So you can see that right here, and this gray arrow is pointing to it. So no matter where you are, if you click that, that brings you to your profile page. It makes site navigation nice and easy. When you register, if it's your first time registering and logging on, you're redirected to your profile page after your registration is complete. And we want you to add some things to your profile page to make it as representative of who you are as a commercial real estate agent or owner or tenant as possible. So we've made your profile page very easy to edit. When you're on your profile page, you'll see just above where your name is, at the top right, a little pencil and paper icon. So you would click that, and we'll go into live demonstrations after of how these things work. As we go through the webinar, we're going to do one section on the profile page, then we'll go to the website, then come back just so you know how things are going to work today. So that is the first thing you're going to hopefully do once you've registered, or if you haven't done it already, if you have already become a member. And the first things we encourage you to do on your profile page is to add a logo or profile picture and bio. Now, one of the things that we're concerned about on your behalf is that your profile be as search engine friendly as possible. And having more information on your profile page is going to make it more search engine friendly. A lot of times I'll be Googling one of our members, and very often their profile page link comes up in the search engine results. So you want to always put your best foot forward, and having a little more information about yourself there is going to be a key thing to do. So in addition to your profile picture and bio, we encourage you to add your website and any social media links that you have. So the one that is super important, I think, is your LinkedIn profile. And people will be able to click the icons on your profile page to go to your social media accounts. And so having that stuff there is going to make you a more three-dimensional person in terms of what they can know about you. And then the other great thing about your profile page and adding all this great information to your profile page is that you can share your profile using our sharing feature, and you can share it via social media, or you can you can also add an iframe to embed it on your website. So these iframes we use for your profile and also for individual listings. If you have a website or a blog, you can use Quantum Listing to serve all of your listings to your website, and there's no extra charge for that other than the regular membership fee. So instead of having to pay for one of the other services that is going to serve your listings to your website, and it's hundreds of dollars a month for some of these, for relatively small change, you're going to be able to add this to your website or have your web developer edit your website for you. And that sharing icon is this little triangular shaped thing right there. So here's my brokerage business, Perlmutter Properties, and we practice what we preach here. Perlmutter Properties uses Quantum Listing to serve its listings to the Perlmutter Properties website using that little bit of code that's generated by the iframe. I am not a genius computer programmer. It's just really easy. I'm using WordPress for the Perlmutter Properties website, and it takes about 2 minutes at the most to do this. And the great thing about using these iframes is that they are going to update in real time. So if you make a change on your Quantum Listing account, then it's going to get reflected in real time on your website or your blog. So another thing that this has going for it is simplicity, and it cuts down on a lot of work. In the old days, I used to have to tell my web designer what changes I wanted to make. She would draft them up. I would approve them. She would then send them to the coder. This whole process could take 2 to 3 weeks sometimes, based on availability for the designer and the coder. And now it really just happens as quickly as I want it to happen. So let's actually go to the website, and we'll show you those first few things there. And actually, we'll chat icon here. We can show you on this visit to the website, and also the info link that shows your bio. All right, so let's go have a look at those first few things that we've been looking at. And all right, so I am going right here to the avatar in the top right corner to go to my profile page. Click that, and here I am. So here's the button to edit my account. I can make any changes I wanted to here, and just click Save. All right, now, and here are my social media icons, and here is the sharing icon and all the different sharing options. And the iframe code that I mentioned is just this little bit of code here. You may want to alter the frame width or height, but other than that, it really doesn't take any programming knowledge to do that. And then here you can see my website address and my email, my Skype or phone number. And so we're going to get back to chat in a moment. And then here is my bio, which it was accessed by clicking the little button, the I button here. One thing I'd like to point out while we're here, and I don't think we actually have a slide for this, and that is where it says expires on Let's go back to that because it's important. Where it says expires on, you can see that my account here expires in August. So I'm going to click on that. And if I wanted to renew it, I would just be able to create the order here. And down below that, it shows your history of payments as well. All right, so let's head back to here. So chats are a relatively new feature that we have here on QuantumListing. Anybody who text messages or use chat on other sites is going to be somewhat familiar with how this works. But there's a little speech bubble to the right of your profile picture. And if that speech bubble is lit up green instead of gray, then it means you have a message. And when you click on it, it opens up this menu here, the chat menu. And you can click on the different menu options. And when you see a green highlighted option, then that's where your unread message is. So let's actually see if we have any chat messages waiting for us. Hold on. I think I may have clicked out of QuantumListing. Let's go back there. Hang on. Okay, my screen may have frozen. Hang on. Okay, there we go. All right, so, oh, look, right here is my chat icon. It's lit up green. Let's see. It's a message from Julia. And Julia says, hey. So, there you go. And I'll be social. Thanks for saying hey. Okay. And I'm sure Julia has that back on her profile page. All right. So once you, and then there are various types of chat. Also, I guess I should mention while we're here, there are peer-to-peer chats, which is what Julia and I just did, where it's like a one-to-one chat. And then if you're a member of groups, you can send chat messages to your groups. Now you'll see here, and we'll get a little deeper into groups in a bit, but QuantumListing has set up wants groups for every state, and you can sort of crowdsource your wants to the group, which I think is a great use of the wants groups. So if you're looking for a 100,000 square foot warehouse in New Jersey for one of your customers, and you can't find it on QuantumListing or anywhere else, or maybe you have found it, but you just want to see if there's anything else out there, you could go to your wants New Jersey group, enter a message about what it is that you're looking for, and maybe somebody will get back to you with a good listing for you. So that is chat. And then to get back to your QuantumListing profile from the chat menu, you just click back to profile, or you could probably hit the avatar as well at the top right. All right, so let's go back to our slide deck and keep moving on. And welcome to the new people who just joined us. And if you'd like to ask any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or type something in the chat box. All right, so listings, actually, let's go back for 1 second to, all right, so right here, this is what we call the left-hand sidebar menu. And this is sort of the control center for a lot of the things that you're going to be doing here on Quantum Listing. And these menu items have submenus, and you just access them by clicking on the heading, and then you can open up the submenu items. So listings, you're going to want to have that clicked. It's going to show up a little darker if it's the operational part of the menu. And so this shows you your listings, kind of obvious, I guess. And then you would just hit that green plus sign, which we'll do on the website if you want to start adding a listing. Okay. The other things that you're going to be accessing on the left-hand sidebar menu, in addition to your listings, if you're an enterprise account, you'll go to the enterprise section, which allows you to manage your agents and any people who are helping you manage the account. The networks menu, which gives you access to Quantum Listing networks, and that is a feature that you get that's part of your Quantum Listing membership. And networks and groups are both included, and you can join as many different networks as you want, and any group that is public you can also join. And being part of the network helps you in a few different ways. It makes it easier for you to see the latest listings in your state or your area of interest. It makes it so that you can connect with colleagues more easily, and we'll show you how to follow colleagues a little later in the webinar. And so these are really good ways to expand your personal network or just to communicate with the people that you already know who are quantum listing as well. So we got networks, groups. Social information is where you're going to see who's following you, who's interested in your listings and might have an interest in connecting with you professionally. And then also you'll see the people that you're following, and you click on their name, the folks that you're following, and you'll go to their listings. You could send them a chat message by clicking that chat icon for a one-on-one chat. So there's great things that you can do from the social. And then info is going to show you several different things, and I'm going to save that one for a little bit later. So let's go back to that menu. So listings, just so you can see it here. Listing archives we'll cover in a moment. Saved listings. So enterprise, My Networks has a few different options in their submenu. Same with groups, social, and info. All right. So listings are you hit the green plus sign that's at the top to start a new listing, and we'll show you what it really looks like. We tried to get a lot of information onto this one slide here, so I apologize if it's a little hard to see, but we'll look at it live as well. So when you're adding listings, we tried to make this as easy as possible for you if you're adding listings. We started out originally as a iPhone app, and because we were an app, we wanted to make the process of adding listings simple. And when we developed the website as well, we sort of kept that same philosophy so that it didn't end up having to take a lot of time to add a listing. So you can drag and drop pictures or PDFs up into this box up here, or you can click on where it says click on this area to browse. That'll let you browse your computer and find what you need to add there, the pictures and the PDFs. If you're an enterprise account with multiple agents, you can assign one or more agent to a listing. Listing title is super important, and it's, again, for search engine optimization. It's my strong recommendation that you include the city and the state in the listing title as well. Not only does it improve your chance of getting your listing found in a Google or Bing or Yahoo search, we send out your listings to social media, our social media accounts, and it also helps with that, because somebody is much more likely to be searching for something in Jacksonville, Florida, than just saying office space. And some of the, it's one thing if your listing is on your own company website, people know a little more what they're looking for on your website. But if it's out in the internet, out in the wild, you really want to make sure that that title is descriptive, and having the city and state is going to really help with that. So you also need to add whether the property is for sale or lease or both. The items with red asterisks are the mandatory items. You're going to add, click on our drop-down menu for asset type, and we have, I think, 20 different asset types in addition to the main ones. We've got everything from agriculture to cannabis approved properties, co-working spaces, all sorts of different asset type choices, so that it'll help people when they're looking for space to find the things that they're really looking for without getting frustrated. And you have to add the rent. If it's for sale, it'll say the sale price, or if it's both for sale and lease, it'll give you the option for both items. If you want to not divulge your price or rent, you can leave it as 0, and it shows up on the site as inquire. Square feet available, also something you need to do. And again, it'll show up as inquire if you just put 0 there as well. Date available, you click on that and you'll get a calendar pop up. You can put a date today or in the present for that. And the last mandatory item that you need to add is the location. So you're going to start typing in the location, and at that point, a drop-down menu will populate, and you're going to select the location from the drop-down menu, and that makes it geocode, so that it, again, people will be able to find it when they're searching by location. So then there's a host of additional parameters that you can add, and you can see them here. You can add a link to your website. You could add a link to another listing site, presumably. You can add a YouTube video link or Vimeo as well. You can say something about parking, bathrooms, floors, all sorts of stuff here. And that makes it, again, the more information you add, the more information that people get, and hopefully a better chance that they'll be interested in what it is that you're selling. So let us go see this on the website live. All right, so I'm clicking the green plus sign, and as you can see, it looks very similar to that slide that we were looking at. For the additional parameters, you click on it, and then it opens that up, and Yeah. The one thing you need to do before your uh, listing is going to be available on the website, you have to make sure that you click the publish box here, and also that you have the rights to all images and information that you're adding. And once you do that, you click save, and your listing goes live right away. It's possible that you may want to not publish it right away, and then you just make sure this box isn't published. Maybe you're still waiting to sign that exclusive agreement. Um, you just want to be ready for when it is done. So just leave it unpublished. You'll be able to find it on your listings, and it'll have a little lock icon up here if it's not published yet. Um, the listing archive is the next item here on the listing submenu. And we strongly encourage you, when you have leased or sold your listing, that you archive it rather than delete it. And the reasons for this are manifold. You can have a great record of the deals that you've done, for one. The second is that you can write private notes, which I'll show you in a bit, on any listing. And if you have a note on an archived listing, you'll still be able to access it. You can put a little reminder on there about when you want to go collect the next installment of your commission. You could have something about the terms of the deal. There's lots of things that you can do in those archived notes. And then the other reason to archive instead of delete is, in the future, if that listing becomes available again, it may save you a little data entry time if you just reactivate the listing that you have archived. So, and then saved listings is the last item here on the listing submenu. And as you're going through the Quantum Listing website, if you see a listing that interests you, you click the little ribbon there at the top, and you see it turns green, and then you'll be able to find it on your saved listings as well. All right. I think we covered all these. Terrific. So next on that left-hand sidebar menu is Enterprise. So we have two main types of memberships here on Quantum Listing. We have enterprise memberships and individual memberships. Enterprise memberships are a great option for companies that have multiple agents. Additionally, if you have marketing people in your office and you want to have managers to help with the workflow, adding the listings, adding the agents, you create a manager. There's no extra charge for managers. So it's a great way to get help within your own organization for adding and managing your Quantum Listing account. And then you can also, in that menu, see the agent option. When you click on that, then you can click the green button and start adding all your different agents as well. And you can add an unlimited number of agents with your enterprise account. So let's head back over to the website and we'll check out enterprises. So we don't have a marketing person, so there's no manager other than our admin, aka me. But we do have a bunch of agents. And if we wanted to add another agent, we'd click that green button. We can add a profile picture, first and last name, email address, their phone number, website, and that gets us to one of these. And then you can also, when you're here, edit a agent, or should they no longer be part of your organization, you can even delete them. All right, let's head back to our slides and start talking about networks. Quantum listing networks are terrific. They allow brokers in a geographic area or asset interest group to have a website dedicated to their listings. And it can be off quantum listing on your own site. So, say you're the Tuolumne County Economic Development Agency, and you want to have a network for your development agency so that the local brokers and owners can post their listings, and people looking for space in that market can find them. You use an iframe, you put that on your website, and it's terrific. Brokers can search for listings of interest in these networks, and it's super easy and efficient. A great way to get that done. And then you connect with your brokers when you're searching in that network, and network admins are able to send network-wide email blasts, or one-to-one email blasts if they want, or just small subset groups from their network admin panel. And the networks administrators are also going to have access to network analytics, which they can distribute to their members if requested. All right, so there are submenu items under networks. My networks is where you're going to choose which networks you want to join. What happens also when you do, we'll look at that on the website. You get to see your network listings and network news, which shows you the up-to-date changes in your network. So if somebody makes a change in your network and you're on network news, you click on it, you can click through and see what it was that was edited or changed. And let's head back to the website. All right, so again, you can see that Promoter Properties is a member of 1, 2, 5 different networks. Here, if we wanted to join another network, we would scroll through, or we could search, and then you click connect. The network admin is going to get an email telling them that you want to join that network. That'll approve you, and then you'll be part of the network. You'll get an email back saying that you have been approved by the network admin. So, from here, from my networks, you can click through and see that network and their listings, and you can also sort through the different network members. So here I've selected Angela Briante, and that brings you to her network, to her listings as well. And now you're back to the network as a whole. So you might notice that there are some listings in your network that aren't necessarily from your network geography. And what happens there is that when somebody joins your network, they bring with them all of their listings. So even if it's not in that particular geography. So if you just want to see, network listings that are in Westchester County, you can then use the search there, and it will drill down to things that are more perhaps of what you're looking for. You can also filter by asset type, trade type. No retail for sale in this area. But we got plenty for lease. Uh, so that is a great thing to do with your how to use your networks. Um, if you wanted to see all the listings in all of your networks, you can certainly do that. You can also sort through your different networks here and just pick the one that you want to see. So this is just showing us our Connecticut network members listings. Okay, so then the last thing in networks that we're going to have a quick look at is the network news. And this will show you the changes that people in your networks have been making. The listing was created. If you click on that, it'll take you to that user, and you'll be able to see what listings they've been changing. All right, let's head back to our slide deck. Groups are next, and groups are another great way to connect with your colleagues. And what we want you to do with groups is join them. We are going to assign you, when you do join, to your group, your state wants group. So again, it's like a bulletin board, and you can crowdsource your search a little bit if you need some help with something. Groups we introduced a few months ago, and so the original members of Quantum Listing may or may not be part of groups. You just go into the group section, find the group that you want to join. You hit the little plus sign. As long as it's not a private group, you're instantly added to the group. And if it is a private group, you can request admission to a group. You also have the ability to start your own groups, and you can decide whether you want your group to be public or private. And you can also decide, if it is a public group, if you want group members to have the authority to invite other people to join your group. So when you do hit the little plus sign to join a group, you're going to get the prompt you see on the left where it says, "Are you sure you want to join this group?" Click yes. If you want to create a group, you give it a name, a little information about what the group is about, then hit create. You can invite, and then you can start inviting people to join your group. There's a group feed similar to the network news that shows you the latest things that have been happening in your group. And if you're a group admin, if you're the guy or gal who started the group, you can add or remove group members through the member page of your group. And you can also view your group listings in the group submenu. And again, you can sort your listings in various ways. So let's head over to groups. So clicking on the group submenu, here's the group feed. So if I click this with Joe Toro, let's see what happens. It's going to show us a new listing he added. And we're hitting that avatar in the top right to go back to our profile page. My groups. So you can see I'm a member. We're members of a lot of different groups here. If we wanted to join more groups, we can either scroll through them, or you could just search for them. So if I wanted to join the Georgia group, I'd hit the plus sign. And I'm going to say yes. All right. And you can see I am now part of the Georgia group. Now, if I wanted to see a little bit more about a group, I'd click on that little eye-shaped icon, and I can see who the users in that group are. I can click on the chat icon if I wanted to send a peer-to-peer chat to any of those group members. If I click on a name, it'll take me to their profile page, where again I could chat with them if I wanted, or I could just browse through their listings. Oh, and hang on, let's go back to my groups. And so going back to that eye icon, so I can see the users, I can just go to their listings. And then the other option that I can do is I can do post a group chat. So here there's somebody looking for warehouse space in the Bronx, and Rick Recchio responded, "Sorry, I'm located up in Buffalo." So, all right, so that and then that is pretty much everything that we're going to show you today on groups. But I really do encourage you to go out and explore these groups along with the networks, and you never know what you're going to find, who you're going to meet through them. So make sure you work it uh, and really explore it. So the next menu item on the left-hand sidebar menu is social, and you can see who's following you and who you're following here. And again, this is another great way to drill down on the stuff that is important to you. So if you know that some of your colleagues are on quantum listing and you don't want to have to do a search, you don't want to go through the network, you don't want to go through a group, just follow them. And there's a big follow button on everybody's profile page. Uh, and then you'll be able to find them here in the social section next time you want. And simpler than going to their website if you're already here. It really is a very convenient way of finding what it is that you need. And when you follow somebody else, in addition to followers and following in the social section, there's an item called the stream. So the stream has all the listings of your fellow of the people that you're following. So, and again, this is another searchable thing, so it makes it easy for you to find, in particular, what it is that you're looking for. Let's head back to the website, and here we go. Social. So let's see who our followers are. So Barry Anderson is a great guy. And if we want to see his listings, we click on listings. He's got a bunch of them. So we can click through. Barry's got an enterprise account, so you can see he's got a few different agents involved here. And if I wanted to favorite one of these, I'm going to click the little ribbon there, and I'll be able to find that in my favorites a little bit later. And so I am already following Barry. If I was not, it would say follow, and I would just click that. Unfollow, it's obvious that if you don't want to follow anybody anymore, you just click unfollow. They don't get notification of it, so they're not going to know that you unfollowed them. So don't worry about getting discovered on that. And so that's, I think, everything we need to cover on the social section. And let's go back to our slide deck on the info section. So info section has some pretty cool stuff. It has your analytics. So if you are a Quantum Listing member in good standing, meaning that you're either on your trial or a paying member, you'll be able to look at your analytics. You can find out how many views your listing has gotten uh, this week, in the last month, or over the last year. Uh, you can see the account views, agent views if you're an enterprise account. So you get some really great information from your analytics section. There's a notes section which allows you to access the private notes that you've taken on other listings. And again, these are private, only you can see those notes. So don't worry that somebody else is going to be able to see what it is that you're writing about their listing. Listing reports, when you're going through Quantum Listing and you're doing your search, if you're, say, doing a survey for a customer and you want to show them all the different retail for sale or for lease in White Plains, you'll add it to a listing report, and this is where you're going to go find that listing report when you want to go download it or email it to them. You can also post reports using iframes to your website or blog. So listing reports could be a very, very handy tool for you. Syndication channels, another neat feature of Quantum Listing. We have various syndication partners, including Build Out, Sharp Launch, Levitt Digital, and our newest syndication partner, which is the CRE Collaborative. And some of these partners send listings to us through an automated system. So it saves data entry. Those would be like the Build Out and Sharp Launch. Send listings to us, and they're sort of set it, forget it options. So if you're on Build Out and you hook up Quantum Listing, anytime you make changes on Build Out, they automatically are reflected in Quantum Listing. Sharp Launch works a little bit differently, where they update their listings on Quantum Listing just once a week, but that still, keeps the information nice and fresh and timely. Then Levitt Digital and CRE Collaborative, if you opt into those syndications, what will happen is Quantum Listing will send your listings to those platforms. And Levitt Digital has this terrific web of over 500 local news sites that they also share those listings to. So if you choose Levitt Digital as a syndication partner, you're going to see hopefully a lot of good traffic on your listings, because they're being shared all over the country via these websites and news sites. CRE Collaborative is a new partner and new service, and they have all this wonderful data enrichment that they can provide for your listing. So if you are a CRE Collaborative user, you'll be able to get things like tax information and block and lot number, and sort of the more in-depth information that is not included in what you're adding by yourself to Quantum Listing. So encourage you to check that out. And so we keep on talking about those private notes, right? So on each listing detail page, you'll see a gray stripe next to the description, and on the right-hand side of the page, and there's a little pencil icon that you'll click on. A little pop-up opens up. You write your note, you click save, and then you're going to find that here in the notes, when you go back to your profile page and click on info, open up that submenu, there it is. And you can edit these notes and you can delete the notes if you want to get rid of them as well. Listing reports are also available in the info section. And then syndication channels. Here it shows Levitt Digital, and you can set up the syndication. You click on that, you'll create a username and password for those other sites, and then connect the accounts. And makes it real nice and easy. And again, you can, Levitt Digital, there's no charge for syndicating your listings out to those 500 news sites. CRE Collaborative, you can join for free. You can share your listings on CRE Collaborative for free. There will be a charge for the data enhancement. So let's actually go back to the website and look at the info section in a little more detail. Okay, so in addition to being, right now what we're looking at is an aggregate of the promoter properties listings and their views in the last week. You can go out for a full year, a month rather, and all time, which I believe it actually shows from October of 2017 to the present. And you can also search and select an individual listing to see the views that that particular listing has had. Account views is the views of your profile, and again, it's a week, a month, or all time. Agent views shows you the number of times your individual agents' profiles have been seen. Profile shares are going to show you the number of times that your profile has been shared using that sharing icon. And again, these shares could be via mail, Google Plus, which actually doesn't exist anymore. I'll have to make that update. LinkedIn, and so you can see how your stuff has been shared. And here it's, let's see, LinkedIn. We had 4 shares in November of our profile on LinkedIn. And listing shares, this is the number of times that your listings have gotten shared, and you can look at the way that those listings have been shared as well. And PDF exports and downloads. The distinction here is that PDF export is a listing flyer that Quantum Listing has created based on the information that you've put in here into Quantum Listing, and a PDF download is going to show you when somebody is downloading a listing that you've added yourself, your own PDF flyer, something that either you or your wonderful marketing department has created on your behalf. Okay, let's see what else we got on the info section. Private notes, this is where you're going to access those. So here you can edit, delete. This is just an example. So here, in one of the note here, I kept a record of the date it closed and the price. Here's a little reminder that I need to find out the size of the electric panel for a prospect. So, you know, these notes can really vary on whatever it is that you're interested in seeing. Comparable data is a new feature, and I'm not sure if it's been rolled out to everybody or if it's just on my site right now, but when you do go to archive or delete one of your listings, you'll get a pop-up asking if it can be added to our comparable database. We haven't made it open to the public yet because we want to collect enough information so that you're not just getting frustrated when you go to comparable data. Syndication channels, as you can see, are here. Again, because you'll see a couple things on my site here that aren't part of the world at large yet. And I'm going to tease a new feature here, which we're introducing. Again, this is only available today on mine. And it is a new lead capture system that we're going to be rolling out. And I'm telling you that this is coming in the next week or so. I'm going to leave it there and keep you curious. Make sure you check back we'll be announcing it, I'm sure, on our blog and via an email blast, and hopefully we'll do a webinar on our new lead capture service yet. But we're going to save that for another day. I will show you the first part of our lead capture, which is available to anybody right now, and that is if you are not logged into Quantum Listing and you're on the landing page, people can either search by location or they can fill out a little form saying exactly what it is that you're looking for, and we will match you up with a broker in your area. And the other thing, you'll also get a weekly update on listings that match your search criteria. So some exciting stuff coming ahead here with Quantum Listing. I think we're getting to the end of our show here. However, if you need additional help or have questions, please be sure to check out our How It Works section. That's at the top and also the bottom of every page on our site. The intercom, which is a little speech bubble type of thing on the bottom right of every page of our site. At the top of our site, top right of the site, there's a button to schedule a demo, so you can either schedule a one-on-one session with us, and and then there's also Friday office hours, which when we will open up the office hours when people sign up for that on Friday, I think from 4 to 5, and a great way to talk to your quantum listing advisors and your peers about different features of quantum listing and find out a little bit more. And of course, you can email support@quantumlisting.com. So let's be consistent. So how it works is up here. Let's show you what it looks like. It's divided into various categories to make it a little simpler. You can also search by keywords. How it works is also available at the bottom left of the site. And let's go. Oh, we're not logged in. Hang on. Okay. Intercom doesn't seem to be here today, but you'll usually find the intercom bubble right here. Schedule a demo is up here. And let's see. So there's lots of different sessions that you can sign up for. And when you do click on one of them, you'll get a calendar that shows our availability. So makes the scheduling very, very simple. And you can do 10-minute sessions, 15-minute sessions, or the big Kahuna, which is a 1-hour session where your fingers are on the keyboard and we're talking you through the different things. All right, so I think that brings us to the end of our webinar today. If there's anything else you'd like to know, you can type it in the chat. We're going to pause the recording now and stick around for a little while. And the other thing is I want to thank Andres and Julia for their help in putting our webinar together today. They're invaluable members of the team. And I want to thank you for your time, and hope to see you on a future webinar. Next week, we'll be having a haves and wants session for nationwide multifamily for sale. And the following week, we're going to have management consultant Matt Packness on a webinar, and he's talking about how to create a thriving workplace environment without bullying. He's got a great new book out called, hold on, maybe getting it wrong. Good Bosses, bosses don't need to be bullies. It's not, I got it wrong, but that's the theme. And I've been reading it and loving it, and encourage you to pick up a copy. Or come and hear Matt talk in a couple of weeks. All right, thanks, and bye-bye. We'll talk to you soon.